Hey, welcome to Kletus Ray's Roadside Service. This is second podcast for Tuesday. Um, I have a long drive ahead of me. I'm headed back home now from Nebraska. I'm still in Nebraska right now. Um, and I felt like I hadn't talked enough today. So I decided to fire it back up. I left you guys off this morning. So a lot has happened. Not, I guess not a whole lot, but it's been a day for sure. Woke up, got going. I recorded that podcast, and then after that, as I'm pulling into the yard where we're going to be pulling the liquid or the diesel out of the engines, as I'm pulling into that location, and me and the other guy, we're both there at the same exact time. My wife calls me and she's freaking out. Well, this was before that. On my way out there, she called me freaking out about her tire on her car. She's like, "My tire's flat. How am I supposed to do anything?" So she had to walk to the bus stop, which is half a block away. I don't know. She made sure she let me know that she was upset. She had to walk with both kids. So I guess understandable. And it's the first really cold day, really cold morning at least. Um, so she had to walk. Not that wasn't really the problem. She was more worried because she has my daughter. My son gets on the bus in the mornings, and then my daughter, she drops her off, and she wasn't able to drop her off because she had a flat tire, because she would have been late to school, which I think she still should have taken her to school after everything was said and done. But she was freaking out, and I'm like, okay, let me just call the neighbor guy, because the neighbor guy is pretty dang cool. He is retired and he's always at home, but he's not old, like old. He's just older. He's also military, so he's got retirement from that and all kinds. I don't know. I don't know his old deal, but I know that he's always home. He has no job. He just does like side work in his garage. He constantly has like cars coming into his garage, and he's doing brakes and oil changes and little shit around the house or around his house and stuff. Anyways, I call him up and I'm like, "Hey man, please help me out. My wife has a flat tire." And she had just aired up her tires the other day. She was driving. They seemed a little low, so she goes to Hy-Vee gas. They have like a really cool air machine where you just set it to whatever PSI you want, and then you just run around all your tires. And it's really simple. So she did that the day before, and apparently her doing that and then either that and driving home, she picked up something. I don't know. But she had a flat tire this morning. So he came over. He brought a little plug-in air compressor. It plugs into your cigarette lighter or whatever. And well, it turned out he ended up putting the donut on her car because it would not hold air. So he just put the donut on her car, and then she said, "Okay, we're good." But before that, there's a little black penis. You guys might be wondering, what the fuck did you just say? That has nothing to do with anything. It actually does. My wife's father, which is her stepdad, he had some guy at his shop 3D printed out a bunch of these little black penis valve stem covers. And he got some, and then he went around and putting them on people's tires. Just one, not all of them, just one on like the back passenger, so like people wouldn't ever notice they were even there. Well, it's been on there for years, and the thing has gotten it. I don't know. It's not made out of great material apparently, because it's melted and it's droopy and it's kind of fucking not cool. But it's funny, and she's just left it on there. I'm so surprised. She just leaves it on there. She doesn't give a shit if it's on there or not. And yeah, so she was in, because the tire that was flat was that tire that had that dick on it. So she took the dick off of that tire and put it on her passenger side front tire. The guy came over, he aired up her tire. It didn't work out. He threw on the spare, and then he said, "All right, you're good to go." He went home. My wife, we were talking about it, and I said, "All right, once he's done, take your car up to the fucking tire shop and get it fixed." She didn't do that. She went inside, hung out, ate breakfast, watched TV. I don't know. She went inside and she was in there for an extended period of time, maybe like an hour. And then she came back out. And that's when she called me when I had just rolled up to my fucking job site. She called me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, the other tire's flat now." I was like, "Oh, fuck." She's like, "I think it's the valve, the little black dick is doing it." I'm like, "Okay, well, take the little dick off." And she wanted to use the air compressor that I have at the house, which, because I was trying to get her to use that first, but she didn't want to use it. She didn't want to go looking through the garage for shit. And my garage is a fucking mess. Like, it's not good. There's shit scattered everywhere. I can't find shit in my garage. And I'm the one that put everything in there, exactly where it's at. So, she was like, so I FaceTimed her right as I get to the job site. I'm like, I'm supposed to be working as fast as I can so I can get off of work today. But she's FaceTiming me. She's walking around showing me the garage, trying to look for everything. We located the air compressor, the extension cord, and the air compressor hose. We could not find the fucking chuck, the air chuck for the fucking deal. And I'm like, God damn it, baby. Look around for the fucking thing. It looks like an air chuck. She doesn't know what an air chuck is. She has no idea. She picked up a wrench, like an open-ended wrench, and she was like, "Is this?" I'm like, "What? What? Huh? What? No, that's not it." And so we dealt with that for a little while, and I was like, "You know what? Let me call the neighbor again." And the neighbor's right there. She can't walk over there, so I had to call the neighbor again. I said, "Hey, man, she's going to come over to your house. Can you just hand her the fucking air pump again? Because a different tire is now flat." And and he's like, "No, we aired them all up." I'm like, "I have to explain something to you. There's a little black penis, little black penis that's fucking with our air, man. Okay?" And so I explained the whole situation to him. And you can't just say there's a little black penis air stem cap that's fucked up. You know, you can't just say that. I think it's the cap. I guess you could say she put a different cap on that side. Why would she do that? You know, you just have to explain the entire story for anything to make sense about the black penis valve stem cap. And that's got to be the reason why the tire's flat, right? Right? So, he says, "Just have her drive her car over here, and I'll air it up." So she drove the car. I called her back. I said, "Hey, listen to me. I'm going to give you explicit instructions right now." Because she already missed her chance to get to the fucking tire store. And we don't know if this tire is actually leaking that bad or not. I don't know if it's the valve stem cover. I'm not there. I'm in Nebraska, y'all. She's in Missouri. I'm a ways away. So I say, "Hey, I need you to do exactly what I say. Grab your daughter. Get her ready to go. Put her in the car and buckle her down. Get in your car with the flat tire." But it's got a flat tire. Yes. Get in the car with the flat tire. Pull out of the driveway. Do not fucking do a burnout or anything. Just pull out of the driveway. Drive to the neighbor's driveway and park in there. He's going to come out. You don't even have to get out of the fucking car. He's going to come out. He's going to put air in your tire. And then you're going to leave his house. And you're going to go straight to the fucking tire shop before the tires run out of air. Okay? Can you do that? And she did it. And everything went great. Just kidding. She gets to the tire shop. They say, no. They're like, well, look at your tires. So they looked at all the tires. They said, you only have one good tire. Like, if this one good tire had a hole in it, we'd patch it. The other three, don't give a shit if they're holding air or not. We're not going to patch them. You have to replace them because they're low on tread. Okay, buddy. You fucking queer. Jesus Christ. Well, whatever. So they aired them back up and sent her on her way. And, well, she tried to do the credit card thing, and they denied us. We were denied a car credit card. Probably because we were in a bankruptcy, and I think we submitted a credit card from a tire company in there. Or maybe we didn't. I don't know. Maybe our credit is just that bad. So they said, nope, pay us now in full or you're fucking out of luck. And whatever. I don't know. I guess I understand it. But she did all that by herself. I put my phone in my truck because I needed to charge it up. I found my phone charger, by the way. Isn't that nice? The phone charger that I've been looking for that ruined the last day and a half. I found it. It didn't ruin anything. But it was a big deal because my FM transmitter, I'm ready to just chuck that motherfucker out the window because I don't need it. It's annoying. I do like to listen to stuff through my speakers in the cab, but with the thing shaking around, it fucking disconnects and shit. Anyways, I found the phone charger. There's a win. I win a little bit right there. So I wasn't able to get on the phone with her. Like, she called me and texted me a bunch of times while I'm trying to get loaded with diesel from the train engine. Anyways, we were denied the credit card. We ain't got no money. She said she just left and went home when I didn't answer her back. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in Nebraska, yo. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I was like, that's a good thing. I'm glad we were denied the credit. I mean, I don't want another fucking credit card. Please. No credit cards. Please. So, yes, everything happened the way it should. The car and the tire is actually holding air. I think it was the valve stem cap, but I have no idea. But I'm like, listen, we can get tires for way cheaper, and I can install them at my shop. I'm just going to need to get off early one day or take your car one day. But then if I take your car, there's no way you can take the kids. So maybe on a weekend, I don't know. But anyways, I'll bring your car with some new tires to my shop, and then I will put all your tires on. And I will spray them with our fucking liquidy mixture and make sure there's no fucking leaks coming out of your tires. And then we're good. Because I don't want to pay a tire shop to put tires on the car when I can do that myself. So I'm glad that thing worked out. And she's on a donut now. The other tires, one tire definitely has a slow leak, but it's a slow leak. And it's been like that for a long time. And yeah, I know, I'm a bad guy for not fixing her tires sooner. Of course, it's going to happen when I'm out of town. And it's going to be pandemonium at home. She's like calling her mom, calling her sister, trying to figure out her baby's going to be stuck at school. So anyways, her car is at home right now. All the tires are holding air, and she's got a donut on. And this fucking F-350 has been doing 63 miles an hour, and I was behind him, and I was doing 63, and as soon as I switched lanes to do the speed limit, now he's speeding up. Guess what? I can go 75, fuckhead. Yes, so I got loaded. And as we were there, remember I was talking about one of the oil drain valves was dripping. I don't know if I said it on the podcast or not, but the other guy that was sucking the oil, there was one. Everybody had left. Well, yeah, everybody had left, and I was still there, and I was just picking up my shit. And I noticed that there was a drip, a steady drip coming out of one of the oil reservoirs from the train car. Not the train car, the train engine. A little bit of oil coming out. So I said, "Oh, that's not good." And we sucked it out. So like we had vacuum pulling on that, like so it shouldn't drip for very long, right? So I just wrapped an absorbent pad around the deal, and I set another absorbent, just one, on the floor on the ground underneath it, so to kind of sop up what had dripped out. And I was like, it's fine, and there's nothing I can do about it really right now anyways. I mean, there was. I definitely could have, and I definitely should have, but I did not. I just wrapped it up and said, it'll stop dripping soon. And whenever we got back there, no. Both oil rags were completely soaking full of oil, and there's oil all over the ground. And the guy showed up. The one guy got there, and I told him to suck the rest of the diesel out of the one engine, and I was going to suck the full engine, the one that we hadn't touched yet. And so he was sucking on that one. I was sucking on the other one. You know, people could probably use that audio as in some bad ways. But we were both sucking on these things, you know. And I was like, "Hey, man, there's a little bit of oil left on this one." And he's like, "Oh, shit." I was like, "Yeah, we made a big fucking mess." And the dude spilled oil a second time. He didn't have any vacuum on. He didn't have a bucket. He didn't have any sort of precautions. He just opened up his fucking valve and took the cap off and spilt out, I don't know, like a gallon of oil, of used oil from the day before, all over the fucking ground out there. And we sopped it up and kicked some dirt on it, and it looks all right. And then we tried to do the same thing right there to where it was dripping out of the train engine. And anyways, that third engine that I was working on, that one, I don't know. There's something going on with either my hose or the fuel tank. I don't know, but it was taking for a long time to empty that tank out. But I got it emptied, got the paperwork wrote up, got the trucks backed out of the area, and he was like, "Hey, just wait a second. I'm going to come over there. I'm going to help you back out." And, you know, that's the thing that you should do. You should always have a spotter when you're backing along railroad tracks, over a railroad track, over an open roadway, into a big open parking lot that has a telephone pole that is right in the motherfucking way. But I was like, I'll just do it. And I did it, and everything ended up just fine. I got backed out of there. But he was like trying to chase me down, and I'm just like, I'm backing up. And yeah, I got backed out of there, no problems. And then he pulled up, and then I had to call the wife again, talk to her about the tires and shit. I said, when I get home tonight, I'm going to take your tire, because she has a donut on there, so the other tire is off. I'm going to take that tire and I'm going to shove it in my Chevy Cruze. And I'm going to take it to work with me. And if we can afford a tire from Pick and Pull, I'm going to go to Pick and Pull and grab a tire. One that looks good. One that's nice and round. I'm going to grab that tire. I'm going to take it to my shop. And I'm going to mount that fucking tire. And then I'm going to spray it and check it for leaks. And then I'm going to bring it home, and then I'm going to put it on your car, but I'm also going to rotate your tires. So crisis avoided, but she's still like, we need to get a credit card for emergencies like this. And I'm like, hey, stop it. Stop it. No. She's like, we need one. I'm like, babe, if we get a credit card, we're going to the fucking Golden Corral again. You get a credit card, we're going to Steak and Shake, yo. You get a credit card, we go into Target and we're going to go inside. Meaning that instead of just ordering the stuff online and then having it brought out to us, we're going to actually go inside and buy a whole bunch of shit that we don't need. Because we have a credit card, yo. Like, we don't need that. I know how we are. Do you remember that earlier this year, we stopped paying our bankruptcy because it's over? We don't need to start this process over again. Can we please go 5 years without a credit card now? That'll be 10 years total. Well, at least until we can actually survive on our own money, comfortably, which we should be able to. We can do it. We can get there. We can do it. But if we have a credit card, we're going to get in trouble with it again. We're going to put tires on it. Then we're going to put the water heater on it. Then we're going to put wood for the back deck. And then, might as well just use their credit card to license my square body because we don't have the cash right now. And then, something else is wrong. Need something else. Need this. Need that. We need it all. And we should not have a credit card because that's going to be used on. Yeah, it's all stuff that we want and that we, some of the stuff we actually need, but it's going to fucking fuck us. Fuck. You're going to get fucked on this shit, okay? I just wanted to say fuck a bunch of times. So anyways, after that, we got on the road. We start driving. And the one dude, he's like, hey, man, I need to eat some food. I'm like, okay, you fucking hillbilly. Just kidding. He's not a hillbilly. He's in Nebraska. There ain't a fucking hill out here. There's kind of a hill. I mean, it's definitely at least 10 foot above where I'm at now. Like, there's a couple of hills. That F-350 thinks he's going to fucking pass me. You got another thing coming. So, yes, we stop and we get some food. And the guy, I don't know why I called him a hillbilly in a derogatory way. He's not a hillbilly. He's actually a cool guy. He's nice. He helps out. I'm not a smart man, and he's also not a smart man. Oh, that's not the same F-350. I thought that was the same F-350. It's not the same F-350. The other one was a single cab. This guy, I was doing 75, and he was actually passing me. So, hey, good on you, brother. Now I got a school bus I got to pass. I swear, I was like, that's that same F-350? I'm a speed up. Don't let him pass me. It's a different one. That guy can actually go the normal speed limit and not fuck with you. The other F-350 is back there. I see him now. Now that I look, he's back there. He's way back there. So, we stop off at the same truck stop. I get out. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and fuel up. Might as well while we're here. He wants to get some food. I'm going to get some fuel, and then I'm going to run in and grab me some food, too. Because why would I not? Listen, I made another mistake. I'm not a smart man. I do some dumb shit sometimes. I'm checking out of the hotel this morning. I reach into my pocket. I feel a card, and I'm like, oh, that's the hotel key. I shove it in the hotel key package without even looking at it. I just shove it in there, and I go over and I turn it into the fucking front desk, and I leave. Well, can you guess what that card may have been? When I'm trying to get fuel for my truck, it was the fucking fuel card for the fucking truck. And so I called the hotel. Hey, guess what? I'm dumb. I made a mistake. I put the fuel card in the hotel slip. Now, I cannot confirm nor deny what I put in that fucking hotel slip. But I have all of my cards, and I'm only missing one card. And I'm pretty sure that was 3 cards I put in the fucking hotel slip, and they were like, we don't have it. I'm like, you don't have it? They're like, no, we don't have it. I'm like, can you look? They're like, oh, yeah, we'll look. Yeah, we don't have it. I'm like, you fucking didn't look, bitch. You didn't look. Look again. Do you have my fuel card? Like, nope, don't have it. I'm like, all right, well, thanks for trying. Oh, it's all right. Thanks for trying. Bye. And I hang up. You know, those are probably my exact words right there. You know, the second part, not the first part, where I called him a bitch. So I just use my regular company credit card, which I have to do an expense report on. Now I have to do an expense report for fuel and the hotel, which is fine, whatever. Park the truck. I pull away from the pumps because I'm respectable. I wait until I'm done pumping fuel, and then I pull away from the pumps. I got to go in and get a receipt because I have to have one for the expense report. And what kind of restaurant do you think is inside there? There's a Subway. There's a donut shop or something, whatever the donut shop was, I don't remember. And there's also Little Caesar. Little Caesar is there for all my needs. And I go over there and holy moly, they got hot wings again. And I remembered yesterday, 1 package of hot wings was not enough. So I grabbed 2. 2 packages of hot wings. There's like 6 a piece. And then a green tea. And I go out to my truck and I eat it like a fucking hog. I ate it like a little chipmunk that just found a bunch of nuts. I was shoving these fucking hot wings right into my face and suckling on them. Covered in ranch. It was so fucking delicious. Those are actually not good hot wings, but it was okay. And I was a little ticked off when I first got them because I guess they don't put sauce on them until you buy them. At this place, at the other gas station, they were already sauced up. You just grab it and go. This place, they were behind the counter, and you had to wait there until the fucking lady came over, and she's like, "What you want?" And I'm like, "I want some hot wings, bitch. Give me some goddamn hot wings." So she brings in the hot wings, and she grabs the hot wings, and she says, "All right, 1 second." She went in the back. She said, "You want buffalo?" I said, "Yeah." You talking my language? I want some buffalo. You got blue cheese? They said no. I said, all right, well, ranch will do. Then she comes back out and she's like, we actually don't have any buffalo sauce. I was like, oh, no. Well, that's fine. She's like, oh, I got an idea. And she went over to Subway, and they have buffalo sauce at Subway. Why the fuck does Subway have buffalo sauce? Not sure. Anyways, I go over to... There are 2 combines trying to cross the highway right now, and that's dangerous. She put Subway hot sauce on my Little Caesar's wings, and I was kind of disgusted when she did it. But whatever. I went out. It tasted fine, actually. It tasted normal. It tasted good. Everything was fine. I still suckled them down like a damn chipmunk. I was like a wombat snuggling a blanket. That doesn't make sense. I was like a giraffe reaching for that top leaf. I don't know. I was happy is what I'm trying to say. I was happy with the wings I had, and I was so when I got to the end of one box, I was even more happy to open the second box of hot wings. And then my hands were covered in hot wing sauce, so I didn't even drink my tea until the end. And then I got on the road and I drove. And I get to the rail yard, and the one dude was there like way before. He should have been there way before I was there, but I think he had just arrived when I got there because he left as soon as I got in my truck with my hot wings. He left. He thought we were going, and then he called me. He's like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "I'm eating hot wings, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Let me eat." And so he just went on his way. I was like, "You can do shit without me. We don't have to be exactly at the same place at the exact same time. I gotta, oh, way station. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Apparently we've had 4 of our company trucks stopped by DOT today. 4. We're going to hope this sign says closed. I think it's got enough letters to say closed. C-L-O, I can't read, hold on. C-L-O-S-E-D? Hell yeah, brother! We're gonna roll on by. I'm not even hauling anything right now, so I'm good. But anyways, what happened? What the fuck happened? I suckled down my wings and I left, and I get to the yard. The guy got there. I got there shortly after he got there. He had to pump off, and then he had to go wash out. And I was like, that was what I was trying to avoid, was us both trying to pump off at the same time. Like I don't know why, but I was still under the impression I was going to be pushing my time limits today. So he got blown off, and then he, moseying around and all this shit. And I was like, "Hey, buddy, I am kind of running out of hours. If you want to hurry the fuck up." And then he got out of the way. I got my shit offloaded. Everything went well with me. With him, it went well. Also, he was trying to teach it. This guy, he acted like he had ran a vac truck at his previous job. But I was like, "Hey, do you want to, how about you pull some," he's like tightening up the screws on the back of the lid. I was like, "Do you want to pull some vacuum?" And he's like, "Why?" I'm like, "What do you mean, why?" He's like, "What? No, I don't need to suck anything up." I'm like, "Hey, what? Do you not know that you have to pull vacuum to get the lid to shut the entire way? You don't know that?" He's like, "No, you just tighten these up." I'm like, "No, who are you talking to? I'm the guy that makes the mistakes and finds out the hard way, okay?" Which I never found out the hard way, but I can definitely understand how this would be the hard way to learn that you need to pull vacuum, because if he tightens them up, somebody's going to show up in the morning, grab that truck that's not him, could be him, actually, and they're going to go through, the truck is going to be off and not pumping or anything. They're going to go, they're like, "Oh, all these wing nuts are nice and tight." And then they're going to go to the job site, and then they're going to suck. And whenever they suck, the lid is going to shut about 1/8 of an inch more, which is at least a half a turn on these wing nuts. But they're gonna pull vacuum. They're gonna load the entire truck up with, let's just say, fucking acid, just to give you guys a little bit more of a wow factor. He's gonna fill this motherfucker up with acid, and he thinks the wing nuts are tight because he checked them in the morning. Then he's gonna be driving around bumping down the highway with a full load of acid, and for some reason he's gonna lose a little bit of vacuum. I don't know. Maybe he accidentally had the vent on a little bit, because on those trucks you can have the vent just barely on. But I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, the best case scenario is where he loaded it, Then he vents the truck and then tries to drive down the road. But as soon as he vents the truck, it's going to lose pressure, and that door is going to open it's a tiny bit, but it's not. It's going to be just enough for the most beautiful acid fucking spill you'll ever see, because it's going to be coming out of the entire fucking back door. It's going to be just a thin layer of acid just spraying out the entire side like a goddamn peacock. Know what I mean? Because the whole back of the fucking tank opens up, so it's just a big lid there. And if you just loosen, because I've loosened them up with the load on there before, and then you vent it, and then the door opens just a little bit, and then it fucking peacocks out. It looks fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. It's so cold in here. That would be the best case scenario, is to spill it where you've sucked it. The worst case scenario is to be driving down the highway, pull into a way station, bump, bump, bump. Psh, you're going to be fucked for life. You might as well just start drinking some of that acid, bud. You're dead. You're done, dude. So, anyways, that's my PSA for the day, is to close the lid with vacuum, or else you will die by drinking acid to kill yourself because of such a dumb mistake you've made. So then he washed out, and he was doing all that shit because he opened up the whole back door. I actually wouldn't have opened up the back door to rinse it out. I would have just opened the top hatch and sprayed around a little bit, and then called it good. Look in there and look around, be like, looks pretty good to me. And then adios, muchacho, because that's what, I don't have that option to open up the entire back of my tank on this trailer. I just have 4 manhole lids on the top. So, and then I do have a manhole lid on the very back of the trailer that's, vertical. But I never open that up, because if I open that up, and like you hear, if I open that up and I close it, but I don't close it all the way, or I forget to tighten those up with vacuum, because I never have to touch that fucking lid ever. Except for, I do, but I normally will never have to touch that fucking lid. But if I open it and I put it back on there and it's not seated properly, I'm going to be leaking shit out. So I just always leave that one completely shut and good. Yes. So then I rinsed out. The dude helped me undo some wing nuts on my truck. And he flipped my placards for me. I rinsed out the entire truck, all 4 manholes. I could have done just the very front one, and then the middle, and maybe even the back one, and probably been okay. But I went ahead and did my due diligence to rinse out the entire truck, and drain all the oil catch cans and all that good stuff, and to make sure everything is buttoned up and tight, and I even cleaned my bucket out. And then I went to go leave. This is another issue. I got a call from the lady that, I called the office lady about the credit card, or the fuel card missing. I had to tell her. It's like, hey, I'm trying to fuel up, and I lost the fucking card. I accidentally threw it away with my hotel keys. Whoops-a-daisy. She said, not a problem. We'll get you another one. We'll get that one canceled. I said, all right. And then later, that was at the truck stop, and then I left the truck stop. That's where I ate all my fucking hot wings and shit. And I'm on my way back to the yard to dump off. And then a different lady from the office calls me, and she's like, hey. I'm like, hey, why are you calling me? What are you calling me for? You never call anybody. Why are you calling me? She's like, well, I'm trying to figure out what truck you're in. I'm like, oh, I'm in 309. She's like, okay, well, it says 309 is unassigned, and it's just driving like a ghost down the highway. I'm like, oh no. Oh, no, no, no. Usually these trucks, if you don't log into the Geotab, which is our like monitoring system and e-logs and everything, if you don't log into it, it'll usually beep at you a fuckload of times, and then you'll be like, oh shit, I'm not logged in. No, that didn't happen to me today. I just hopped in it, and I got the fuck on the road, and I totally forgot to log in to my Geotab. Not a good deal, because if I would have been pulled over, because we had 4 people out of our company get pulled over today and get some sort of an inspection, random is what they say. Yeah, we don't usually have that many trucks get pulled over in one single day, and that was all before noon. Um, but anyways, I was like, oh shit. Luckily, with the Geotab, at least with my Geotab, I don't know how any other fucking systems work, but I know my system, yeah, when you log in, it'll have a lot of unassigned movements and times and stuff. So I just accepted all those, and then I'm good. I'm good now. I'm signed in now. Everything's fine. Yeah, a couple of mistakes were made today. Not gonna lie. Not happy about most of them. But I'm on my way home. I should be putting in a 12-hour day, maybe even a 12-and-a-half-hour day, depending on if I stop for fuel, which I don't think I'm going to need to stop for fuel. I think I'm going to be okay to make it all the way home. Because I'm already on I-29. Well, I'm turning on I-29 right now from Highway 2, just past the Sapp brothers and the Wendy's. Did I tell you guys I had Wendy's? Yeah, I did. Wendy's was not good. It was okay. There was a lot of chili. And I had to spit the beans out because some of them were hard. I think I already said all that. So, yep, I'm getting on I-29 right now, right as we speak. And I've got, in 10 miles, I have the southbound Missouri scale that I'll be hitting. If it's open, that one, I've never gone inside of that one. I know they're active and it's an active scale, but I've done trips up and down I-29. You know, I don't do them anymore. We don't have that client anymore. But I used to have a shitload of gas stations I did up here in Nebraska and Iowa, and I was always taking I-29 up and down, up and down, up and down, and never been inside that scale. I know that I've seen trucks in there, but it's always been closed. Every single time it's been closed that I've driven by. Now that I say that, it's probably going to be open. But I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to fear. Just going to do my job. Just drive down the road. I listened to part of Joe Rogan talking to the wolf lady. The lady that lives with wolves. Over in Montana. Or maybe Wisconsin. I don't know. And really that's about the only entertainment I've had today. I listened to Tim Dillon on his own podcast, and then he was also on the Bobby Lee, Andrew, is his name Andrew? Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino podcast, which is called Bad Friends. The Bad Friends podcast. That's another one I listen to a lot. Bobby Lee is really funny. Tim Dillon is also very funny. I do like Andrew. I almost said Andrew Schultz. Andrew Santino. He's also a good guy. I like him. I like him a lot. I'm trying to think of the people. I have not been listening to Bert Kreischer really lately. I don't know why. I just have not been interested to hear his podcast or him on a podcast really lately. If he went on Joe Rogan, I'd definitely listen to it. But other than that, I don't know. Bert Kreischer, he is a really fun, cool guy. And just, I don't know, something I don't really want to hear all the time. But there are the cooking one. There's one where he's cooking with oh yeah, Tim Dillon is on his cooking show. Tim Dillon and Chelsea, not Chelsea. I don't know. Look it up. Bert Kreischer cooks for Tim Dillon and whatever the fuck her name is. That I was, if there was a floor to be rolled on to laugh on, I would have been doing it. But it was such a funny fucking podcast. The cooking show. He's like, mayonnaise. So funny. You'd have to watch it. I would butcher it. And I have not been watching a lot of the Kill Tonys on YouTube either. They're good, and I enjoy it, and I always love to watch them and listen to it, but I don't know. I just have not had a drive to consume that much media lately. I've just been fucking... Oh my gosh, my wife just sent me a proof picture that the living room was cleaned. I'm like, just keep it that way then. Keep it that way. I want to enjoy the clean house. Because I left that house, it was spotless. I cleaned that house, and then I had to leave at 3 a.m. on fucking Monday. It's clean Sunday. And then she did let me know. That was my wife. She just texted me. I don't know if I told you guys that or not. I'm just over here just talking random. She did text me and say that the kids had already destroyed my house, the clean house that I had yesterday. Because the kids didn't have school or anything. So she's like, hey, the kids already destroyed your clean house. I'm like, okay, well, have them clean it up. Like, I don't understand. Have them clean it up. What are you doing? You trying to piss me off? What are you doing here? Just clean it up. If they can trash it in 5 minutes, you can clean it in 10. Okay? It's actually, that's actually kind of accurate. If you really go at it, get it cleaned up. You can, whatever they can do in 5 minutes, you can get cleaned up in 10. And that scale does not stay at at that rate. If it takes them a week to get it dirty, you can get it cleaned up in an hour and a half. Cleaning the upstairs where that is, as long as you keep up on the dusting and stuff, it's only going to take you an hour and a half to clean up any mess. And that's even giving you time to sit down in front of the fan to take a break. Oh, man. I enjoyed my time in Nebraska for the most part. I love the driving. Maybe I like the driving because I'm doing nothing for an extended period of time other than just opening my eyes and moving my arms around a little bit. It's kind of nice. I like to do this. I want to keep doing this. There are a lot of other driving jobs out there that are mostly driving that might actually pay more than what I'm doing here. I really like my job, though. I like being a little bit active. I like to be a little bit active. I like to be home most nights, even though the last week I've been out of town, but I've been praying, not really praying, but I've been hoping to be going out of town at some point in time to get that per diem and everything. And usually if you're going out of town, you get nice hours. So I am glad I was out of town and I got nice hours on this job. I got almost as many hours as I did all last week, and it's only Tuesday. But I don't know, like, people bring it up all the time, like, oh, you can make more money if you do this, if you do that, if you do... No, I don't. If I get out of this job, I know I'll end up finding myself, I'll wake up one day and I'm going to be bumping down the road and I'm going to be in the back of a sleeper cab and I'm going to remember this moment. And I'll be like, remember that time I didn't know how good I had it. I didn't know how good I fucking had it. And now look at me. I'm in the back of a sleeper cab with a guy that wears fucking flip-flops and fucking eats the nastiest, stinkiest food. And he fucking farts and he smells bad and he's always bitching about this and bitching about that, and I can't record my fucking podcast, and I don't want to record it with this fucking idiot because he's dumb, and I don't trust him enough to be laying in the back of a sleeper cab. He's going to put us in a ditch. I don't want that, I didn't know how good I had it. So I'm going to continue to do this job. Other jobs, yeah, they might pay more. But it doesn't matter how good the job is. I'm gonna find something to bitch about. And realistically, I don't really have a lot to bitch about with this job. It's pretty fucking nice. And the added shop on top of it is also really nice. Having a shop with tools and lawnmowers and trailers and trucks and all this other stuff that they don't mind me borrowing every now and again. It's so nice. It's really fucking nice. Oh, God. Oh, God. We're coming up to the scale. I see pre-pass site, all trucks, right lane. Way station, 1 mile. And there's a sign up there, and I don't see red on it. I don't see it red. I do actually see it red. Now I see it red. It's a green sign, so it's kind of hard to fucking tell if it's green or red from all the way back there. It's like there's some... The leaves are changing on the trees and the bushes and shit, and the red just blended in. But it's red. Is it going to stay red? I've had them change it, and I just fucking keep on going. I'm like, nope, not doing that. Not going to be your first fucking truck. Nope, no way. Like, if it turned yellow or white right now and it said open, I'd just fucking keep on going. But, oh, sorry, I blinked when it changed. I don't know. It was closed when I passed it. That's what I'd say. Yeah, pretty excited to go home, and I'm gonna get home kind of late tonight. Excited to go home. It's gonna take some strength for me not to go out to the square body, set the battery cable on the positive, and crank it over a couple of times just to see what happens. It's gonna take some strength out of me to not do that. I'm probably going to do that. That's what I'm saying. I'm probably, because the fuel line, I have it disconnected, but the fuel line is still full of fuel, and the little fuel filter is last time I looked at it, it still had a lot of fuel in it, so shouldn't have any trouble priming. Should just be able to hop in there and fire that motherfucker up. Oh, and make sure the fucking... Well, I got the manual or the electric choke. Maybe I should take that electric choke off and just put a manual choke on there. I was also looking up, whenever I was having trouble, I was trying to look up a diagram of the carburetor. Because it's got a lot of shit on there a lot of shit that turns and twists and moves and up and down and left and right, and there's all these hoses and shit, and it's like, how are you supposed to, I mean, listen, I know that they all do something different, and some of them are just vacuum ports that need to be plugged off and all this stuff, and there are some that are plugged off because the truck ran before. But I was like, what the fuck is all this shit? Like, if I move this lever, what does that do? And one of them says it's a choke, and you can, like, pull it up, and then but as soon as you tap the throttle, it goes down. And I'm like, what is that? What is that doing? Everything, there's a lot of moving parts on there. And there's even a kickdown cable, but I have it disconnected, but I think that just is like, if you floor it, it'll send a signal to the transmission to downshift. But I don't want the kickdown cable. So I talked to a guy about the kickdown cable. I was like, hey, if I wanted to remove the kickdown cable off the transmission, there's a little rod in there. I watched a guy rebuild a turbo 350 transmission, and he took the whole transmission apart, and he was talking about the kickdown cable area, and he's like, you can if you want to remove it, you just take it off. I'm like, okay, well, how do I take it off without taking the transmission out from underneath the truck, disassembling the entire fucking thing? I don't want to do that because it's right there. All I got to do is I can pull it right out. But there's a little bar in there, so I don't know if I can. But I do not mind grabbing a fucking angle grinder and just, and then putting electrical tape on it, if that's going to hold. I don't know. I have no idea. But I want to get rid of the kickdown cable. I think there's oil that has access to evacuate from that spot. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how the kickdown cable exactly works. I'll need to look it up. I need maybe just look up removing the kickdown cable. I don't want it. Remove it. Get it out of here. And then I'm just going to shift it manually myself. Like I have a 1, a 2, and then a drive. And I'm going to relabel it 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to put it on the floor shift. I'm going to cobble together some probably aluminum that I have in the back of the truck. I'm going to cut it, bend it, drill it, mount it, find some sort of a lever. I do have an extra shift knob or shift lever out that came because I got a new one for my 92, but I don't like the way it looks. It doesn't fit right with this. I'm thinking about getting some rebar and bending some rebar into the shape that I want, and then call it good, dude. Just weld it on there, or maybe even just get it bolted on there like super duper fucking tight, and then I just have a rebar shifter with and my buddy, we made a wooden shift knob that was going to go on my Chevy Cruze at one point in time, but I don't give a fuck about the Chevy Cruze. So I have this wooden shift knob. It's kind of large, and I'm thinking about getting that from him because it's still sitting on his shelf at his shop. Getting that from him and then sticking it on and I'll put that on this shifter that goes on this truck, and then it'll just be park, and then just drop it all the way down. Whenever I'm ready to roll, just bring it down once to back out of the driveway, and then just drop it all the way down to number 1. Just clank, 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 and then drive away. There's a square body right there on a trailer behind a U-Haul. It's got a wooden flatbed on it. It's green. It's a K10 green single cab getting hauled by a U-Haul. You know what you should do? You should take that truck off and haul the U-Haul with the truck. Oh, Chevy K10, buddy. But yeah, then just drop it all the way into one and just start driving down the road. When the RPMs get a little bit too high or, whatever, just bump it up once into second and then, pull up to a stoplight and then bump in. Well, it's mainly for getting on the highway, I guess. Just drop it all the way to one and then two, three, and then just leave it in three and it'll shift like normal. There's nothing. It's really fucking simple. It'll just drive like normal. But if I ever do want to like get on the highway or whatever, and I don't like the shift points, I just drop her down to one and yeah, I did that in my 78 a lot. I know how it sounds. It's fucking cool. 78 maxed out at 62 miles an hour. Like it's screaming at 62. Oh shit, we're going fast. No, you're getting passed by school buses. Like, but I look cooler than the school bus. That's for fucking sure. It sounds way better than the school bus. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. I got a flagpole in my front yard. I'm changing subjects here. I got a flagpole in my front yard that I had. I bought it whenever we moved in. I mounted it right in the middle of my front yard, perfectly centered with my windows, but it's out into the yard a little bit. And it was a tall flagpole, but it was like in 4-foot sections. But I bought 2 flagpoles because I got, when my wife's grandfather passed away, I found flagpole parts in his shop of stuff. I took that with me, and it just sat around for a little bit. Once we got our own house, I went to the store and I bought a flagpole because I was like, this thing is missing parts, it's broken, blah, blah, blah. I found the same exact flagpole. I bought it. I took it home. I put it up. I said, it's not tall enough. And I added another section to it. And then the wind started. The day of the wind. And it blew it over. Fell down in my yard, and I was so upset. And now the part that I concreted into the ground with a T-post, I had a T-post, and then I put the pole, and then I concreted it, and then I dropped the first mounting sleeve of the flagpole down in the ground, and then so anyways, the T-post is still there in the bottom section. That's nice and strong. The rest of it, bam, on the ground. And, but it broke the piece that's stuck into the ground. It had the flange that I needed to just, it fell over. I'll just, take a section out, or I have another section in the garage and I'll just put it on. No, you can't, because it's missing the fucking flange. Because it broke off. So, I don't know, but I'm really thinking about redoing that flagpole. I need to find a pole. I want to find some sort of a pole that I can put there and put my flag on it. But poles are expensive. Yeah, I don't know, but it was like I think it was a 20-footer, and then I added another 4-foot to it. So it was like 24-foot flagpole in my front yard. It was beautiful. I did buy an oversized flag for it because it came with a flag, but it was thin and cheap, and so I bought a nice true American flag and then put it up there, and it was a little bit bigger than the other one, and it looked so good. And my wife even commented on it the other day. She was outside doing something. I was outside working on a truck. She's like, I missed the flagpole. I'm like, let's go inside and do it right now. Let's fuck right now. Right now. Pull the panties down. I'm doing it. Yeah, I don't know. But now I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. I'll get the flagpole put back up. So I don't know. Really, that's a very small, I shouldn't, but I kind of want to, you know. I really want to, but there's other stuff I should be spending my time on. But I don't think it's going to take that much time, and maybe I'll get my buddy to come over and help me brainstorm on how to get this section of poles back up. I'm thinking if I just clamp, I don't know, if I cut out a little section of this flagpole that's there, and then I can squeeze it, and it'll fit into the fucking flange of the next one, you know? I don't know. Get that flag up. Hell yeah. Anyways, I'm over here talking a lot. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. This is 2 podcasts in one day. I I'm probably just going to release this one the next day. Just so yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Keep all 18 down. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye. Turn off, bitch. Oh!